getting a little tired now. Had to get up, move around, got back in bed, watched the rest of the game. It was terrible, man. These guys stink. They stink. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, listen, it's a bad baseball team right now. 5 straight games, and
hopefully right now being the key phrase and not forever and ever and the rest of the season.
Or the rest of time, just until we die, that also is a possibility. I mean, the Doomers are out. I'm in my foot. I got a foot in the Doomer camp. I got a foot in the I would never say I'm apathetic about this team or baseball, so I don't have a foot in the apathy camp. But I've got a foot in the Doomer camp.
Well, there's only 2 camps. There's Doom, and there's 130 games still to play.
Right.
And we've barely scratched the surface of the season.
But those are the 2 camps that I'm in.
That's about it right now.
I have both feet in the Doomer camp right now. That's where my feet rest. And by Doomer, I don't mean just this season. I mean, hey, this is what it's going to be like in perpetuity, right, for this team. So, yeah, man, there's a lot to talk about in last night's game. Again, one of the most boring games you'll ever watch, unless you're a Reds fan. You're pretty excited about the performance of Nick Lodolo, who had come into the game 2-0, had a nice start to a season. But again, it's Nick Lodolo, and now you've lost 5 straight games, and you're in the torture chamber, and all your fans are in the torture chamber, and all your fans are turning on you. I think my main takeaway from all of this, man, is you've got, and this is what kept running through my head last night. You have a city in San Diego that is begging to love you. They are begging to love you. They're begging to support you. They're doing everything they can. And you go out last night, you throw up 1 hit. The first batter, by the way.
Yeah.
You throw up 1 hit until the 9th inning. That's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. This team stinks. There's no other way to put it. They stink. They're not good. And everybody's pointing fingers at a bunch of different people. And there's plenty of blame to go around. But I'll tell you once again, it's not the fans' fault, because the fans are showing up on a Monday night against the Cincinnati Reds. Monday night, Cincinnati Reds. And listen, I know that the beanies are cool. You can get a beanie anywhere. Look where we live. There's beanies. You ever been to Encinitas? Just grab one from some guy off the street. I promise you he's got another one in his back pocket.
It's not even that cold here.
You can walk up to a guy in Encinitas, steal his beanie, and he'll go, son of a bitch, lost another one. Pull one out of his back pocket, put another one on. There's beanies everywhere in this town. That's not why people go to the game. That's not why. They go because they want to support a winner. They're begging to support a winner. That's it. Did you see Petco Park when they were in the playoff run? Holy smokes. Most electric atmosphere in baseball. Ask Cincinnati if they ever have that many people on a Monday night. The answer is no. Ask Tampa if they ever have that many people. Ask Detroit. Ask Kansas City. Ask anybody else of these small market teams if they ever have that many people on a Monday night. I bet you one of my children, they don't.
Even the ones that are playing well.
100%.
They don't have anywhere near what the Padres have it in their attendance.
39,158.
That is on a Monday night.
Yeah.
That is staggering. Staggering. And you go out and you drop that after just getting swept at home? I mean, holy smokes. 1-10 now in night games. And the one that you won was the 8-0 comeback? Without that comeback, you're 0-11 at home at night? What are we doing here, guys? Have a little bit of pride. I said it so many times in the offseason. Everybody expects this team to win about 82 games, okay? That's not a huge expectation. It's not. I'm sorry. With the payroll that we have, and I know it's limited now, 82 wins is not a huge expectation. Could they still get there? Sure. Are they making it harder on themselves every day? Yes. 82 wins was really what's expected of you. And
I'm still not going to be happy with 82 wins.
No, I'm not either.
That's a disappointing season.
No question. But that's what everyone was kind of prognosticating. And you looked at the roster and you went, all right, yeah, I mean, things could go 5 games one way or the other, right? Your ceiling was about 87. But, man, you look at it now and go, holy cow. Like, I would be surprised with the way that they're playing right now. So it's a bummer, man. This town is begging to love you. They're begging to love you. And you just constantly let them down, and especially at their house. There's 0 home field advantage here. 0. The batter's eye was too weird last year. Well, we took that out. What is it now? It's just a bummer, man. It's a bummer to watch every single night. And, watch guys go up there with listless, lifeless at bats, hacking at the first pitch, feeble ABs, feeble ground outs, swinging at pitches in the dirt. I mean, it was terrible. It's a terrible game. And I'll say it right now. Lay off Matt Waldron. Matt Waldron's fine. Guy makes zero money, gave you 6 innings, gave up 4 runs. He's a 5th starter. Like, Matt Waldron's not the problem.
He did throw, I think, maybe the worst pitch of the season, though.
0-2
to Ellie De La Cruz. You have to bury that one inside, under his hands. The target was up and in, and he threw it as center cut as you can possibly throw it on an 0-2 pitch to one of the hottest players in baseball. It really was one of the worst misses and worst pitches for a professional pitcher.
Fair enough.
To throw that at 0-2.
That's fair.
After that,
I
thought he was fine. Gave up a couple of line drive doubles in the corner, got out of some jams, ended up pitching okay. More than good enough for your number 5 starter. If you want to win those games with your number 5 starter, you got to win 6-4, 7-5. Any team has to score some runs for their 5th starter to win those games with any kind of regularity. Padres are scoring almost nothing, except for his last start in Colorado when they scored a few and he won. They're scoring nothing for Matt Waldron. You're never going to win when you don't score for your 5th starter. You can't expect your 5th starter to go out and throw zeros every time. You know why? Because then he wouldn't be your 5th starter. He'd be your 1st starter.
That's exactly right.
You can't expect Matt Waldron to be Nick Lodolo.
Right, exactly. He's got 31 innings in 6 starts, okay? Just over 5 innings a start. The one time he did not reach the 5th inning was on April 1st in his season debut. I mean, holy cow. He's only given up 4 home runs, which is like 8 fewer than Michael King and 6 fewer than Joe Musgrove. That's pretty good. And he makes a fraction of what anybody else makes. He's a rookie. I'm not going to ride Matt Waldron in here today. Matt Waldron did, his job. He gave you 6 innings. He gave up 4 runs. Threw a couple of good pitches that were hit. This isn't anybody turd polishing Matt Waldron. This is baseball. Your 5th starter goes out and gives you that last night. You got to find a way to win that game. I'm sorry. So Matt Waldron's not the problem. There are a lot of problems on this team, certainly. I hate doing foreplay right into this, but how could you not, man? The taste is it's like aspirin in your mouth. Like you just chewed up a Bayer. You ever chew aspirin? The guys in the movies do it, and I don't buy it. I don't think people actually do it. I see they take some out. Like Bruce Willis in Die Hard is like, Die Hard 2. He's so hungover, he just and chews aspirin.
Candy,
I'm
right?
like, God dang, dude. I can't even do that with regular M&Ms. Like, I got to take my time. He's taking aspirin. That's what it tastes like in your mouth when you wake up after a loss like that.
Bitter pill to swallow.
Bitter, acrid taste in our mouths this morning. So, yeah, we're fussy, certainly. But I think you have every right to be. It's pathetic, man. Pathetic. There's just no other way to put it. 39,000 people on a Monday night to go see the Reds. Have you watched other baseball games, Benny? You flip around. I flip around. I watch a lot of baseball. 39,000 people on a Monday night. And again, it's
How
not
many
like
teams in baseball would kill for that?
Dude, it's not like the Dodgers were here, the Yankees were here, and the place was filled with, the other team's colors. That's 39,000. I'd go ahead and I feel safe saying 37,000 Padres fans were there last night. They're begging to love you. They're begging for a winner. They deserve a winner. At least give it a fight, man. At least put up a fight.
I do see the fans who say, hey, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't show up to the games until they start winning more. And that's the part that worries me the most, because the one thing the Padres have going for them is the fan base. You take that away, and all of a sudden now you're just getting 14,000 on a Monday night. That's when things really could get ugly. And I hope the Padres fans continue to try to support the team, because I don't think it's going to get better if you just stop coming to the games.
How can it get worse?
I don't think it's going to get better. That's for
How's
sure.
it going to get worse?
Well, then you'll have a terrible atmosphere to go along with your terrible performances on the field.
But our great atmosphere has not. There's no home field advantage to playing here. In fact, other teams look mighty comfortable here, coming in, yakking balls out of Petco Park at will, almost. I mean, the Phillies have actually considered moving their entire franchise here to just play at Petco Park. They love it here. They're massively comfortable. Whatever the batter's eye is or whatever else, they're good. They would move their franchise here to hit in Petco Park. So Yeah, tough one last night, certainly. I don't know the answer. The answer is figure it out and play better and have a little bit of pride in your city and have a little bit of pride for your fans that show up not a couple times a week, every night. And you know how many people will be there today? A buttload. A buttload of people will be filling Petco Park tonight to watch this team try to salvage one and stop this skid. So it's a really, really tough one. You know, but I mentally feel great. Like I feel better this year than I have any other year. Last year, these games were sending me into a tailspin. And I'm like, no, I get to come in and talk about this team, and they need to show us something. You know, they do. Not us, Ben and Woods, us, San Diego. That's who they need to show because they are showing up for you, man. And I'm not hearing a lot of accountability either. I'm hearing a lot of, hey, ran into a buzzsaw. Hey, let's tip our cap again. I'm so tired of aren't they tired of tipping their caps as professional hitters? Will you tip your cap 5 nights in a row? Really? Every night you're like, didn't go our way. Tip my cap. I'm over it. They have to be as over it as we are. That's where it all falls.
How many times
tip it,
can
Paulie?
you tip it? It's falling off.
The damn bill fell off. I've been tipping this cap
I have no
so
more
much.
cap to tip.
There's no more cap to tip. So win a game tonight for the love of God. End this losing streak.
Let's see another team tip their cap to you for once.
For once.
How about that?
Hey, you Darvish just shoved on us now. We got to tip our
David
cap.
Bell, we got to tip our cap to you, Darvish.
When's the last time anybody tipped their cap to us? It's been months. So we just got into it, but we'll get into way more. There's some of the uglier ABs I think I've ever seen in my life last night. Absolutely have no idea what I was watching. More mistakes, more bad pitches. But yeah, my overarching thing today is this ain't Matt Waldron's fault, for the love of God. Matt Waldron gets a 100% pass from me and probably the rest of this show as well. Guy did his job last night. Would he have liked to give up fewer runs? Yeah, of course. But if you don't score any, what does it matter? You need your fifth starter to be perfect every time out.